Jancy, can you walk me through your excitement at taking this next step in your professional coaching career?
Yeah, really exciting. Like to go and head coach at a place like the Spurs and work with their resources and their people. I'm genuinely looking forward to it, and the challenge that comes with being in the G League and what that brings is going to be exciting and different for me. But yeah, certainly looking forward to the challenge that's coming ahead.
How do you feel as though your time at United and closing your time in the NBL has helped you grow as a coach?
Well, certainly this last month or so with Dino not being around as much and getting ready for his Boomers commitments, the chance to, with Reece and Barlow, kind of drive this thing forward has been huge. It's been great for me personally, and I think we've all really enjoyed it. So that's been massive. But I think in general the autonomy that Dino and Melbourne have given me, along with the staff, and how we kind of support each other to be curious and try and find ways to improve, but we collaborate and walk out the door with the same plan. So I think that helps me immensely going over there, working with the staff I've never met. Coming here, I hadn't met many of the guys. I'd worked with Dino briefly, so yeah, it was a great experience for me to go through that. And I feel like I've been here for 10 years now, and I think it's going to put me in a good place going forward into this next little bit.
How important of a skill do you think it is that you've built on here in terms of being able to connect with players quickly and help them reach their full potential?
I think it's a massive part of what we do as coaches and support staff. And I think it's something that comes pretty naturally to me, but ultimately, like if the players and staff are in an environment where they feel like their developmental needs are really being cared for, there's a high level of care and planning that's put into it. And I think this club, as good as any I've been involved in, we put a lot of time into development of our people, and yeah, that's something that working with Steve, working with Dino, Jay in the weight room, the coaches on the floor, and then building each guy's development plan with them has been something I've really enjoyed. And how we attack that here from a club standpoint, we really prioritise winning, and we want to compete for championships every year, but we're very conscious of the process that it takes to develop winners within our club. And I love how we take players along for that ride with us, and staff as well, and that's certainly something that will carry me forward for the next couple of years.
You said before that even though it's only been 2 seasons, it feels like you've been here for 10 years. Can you tell us a bit about how important it was for you to come into an environment like Melbourne United and feel welcome immediately and make those connections with staff and players really quickly?
No, huge. I mean, both for me and Bree, my partner, to have a city and an organisation where my skill set was welcomed, but also encouraged to just come in and be the best version of myself and add to what we already had here for such a long time. Championships on the wall, and yeah, it's been awesome fun. I got a taste of working with Dino in that short little window at the Boomers camp, and when the opportunity came up to work with him more, it was just like, man, that's the kind of collaborative environment that I want to work in and be a part of. And yeah, it's completely lived up to that and built great relationships. Like I said, it feels like it's been a much longer time than only 2 years, but hopefully some lifelong friendships and guys I'll be able to lean on for the rest of my career, whether it be player or staff.
Do you feel as though you would have been able to be ready for this next step in your career without the time here?
Probably not, and I say that only because I've been really lucky. I've worked at 3 great clubs, and a big reason for the move here, I obviously was in Perth for a long time, and then I've spoken to a lot of people about this. When we went to Tassie, we kind of just picked up Perth and moved it, and my first 8 years in the league was certainly in a very similar system and process of how we did things. And what really excited me about was like, hey, there's this other club, obviously Melbourne, that has had so much success in their own right, but have a very different approach. And not to say one's better than the other, but that challenge for me was real. Like to come in to a place that was already established with processes and ways about doing things, and exposing myself just like I'm about to with the Spurs. It was great learning for me that there's more ways than one to do things in professional sport. It more comes down to like how consistent you are, how good you are with clarity for roles and things like that, and then how good your communication is. And if you're ticking those 3 things daily, it really doesn't matter what you do, it's how you can not ride that wave of professional sport and give your organisation what it needs from a process standpoint. So that was great for me. I don't think I'd be ready for this, if I had just stayed in Perth or had stayed in Tassie. And I think the exposure to different coaching staff, different people, different players has been really huge for me in my early career.
How does it feel for you to know that while you are departing a club that you have such strong connections with, coming in to replace you is a coach that you're incredibly familiar with, incredibly comfortable with, and someone that you think is, you know, going to be able to help us achieve what we're wanting to achieve at United?
Yeah, it's awesome for Jack and his partner Alyssa, who me and Bree became pretty close with, to see him come into this club. I know his strengths as a young leader, and you know the way he communicates with guys, his own curiosity about the game and about things in general, how that will really fit into the skill sets of our coaches here and be welcome just like I was 2 years ago. So yeah, great young dude from a great family with his partner, and you know, pumped to see him in blue. It's going to be a little weird having him and Milt and Fab running around, but yeah, really excited about this group in general, but also what Jack can bring to that. And yeah, he's a great young coach. I'm flattered I don't get to work with him a little bit more, but awesome that's kind of worked out. And I know he'll support Dino well, and he'll work great with Reece and Barlow. And I'm also excited about what he means for Andy and Seb and those young coaches, and Crosby, who we have coming through. I just put Crosby in the young coaches, so he'd love me for that. But what he'll do for those guys, you know, he did a lot for me and my development with how he teaches the game, how he sees the game, and I know he'll be great for those guys as well. And
can you, I guess, finish on just touching on your feelings on what it's going to be like in Austin, but keeping a close eye on the NBL and how United's doing, especially having worked so closely with this group in the preseason?
Yeah, it's going to be weird. Obviously, my first time removed from the NBL, but I'm truly am really excited about this group, and we've done a lot of good work the last 3 or 4 weeks. We've got a good another month here before obviously games start, and I'm really excited to see like Milt and Fab come here and play, and how Tyson's going to go, and they've all been such great additions to our program already, and I'm excited to see how that all comes to fruition throughout the course of the season. And I'll certainly be following along, and there's a lot of things I'm excited to hear about, who takes over the music at practice and different things, but yeah, really excited about this group, and I'm going to enjoy following on from afar.
And I guess, do you have a final message to the Melbourne United fans who obviously rode the wave over the past 2 years with you?
No, thank you. Like, I enjoyed the support that I got anytime I stepped into those functions or at games, and basketball is massive in this state, in this city, and yeah, I appreciate all the support, and all I can say is like get around this group this year. It's going to be a really fun year. Obviously the NBA game, a bunch of home games at John Cain, like Sunday afternoons is a great time to be sitting at John Cain supporting a team that I think is going to play really well this year. And yeah, they're going to need all the help they can in a tough competition, but I'm excited to see them step out on the floor and hopefully keep all the fans in blue pretty happy.